We're shedding our masks and breaking down walls. Hell, we may even drop our drawers. That's right. We're going Commando with Angela and Dana. Hi, my name is Dana Sardano, and this is Angela DeMarco, and we are Going Commando. Going Commando is a little show that we put together because we understand the importance of authenticity. We understand the importance of being who you are, embracing that, bringing it to the world, and celebrating it. And we do our best to do that, and we hope by doing so, we encourage you to do the same. So good morning, everybody, or good day, good day. Good morning, Miss Angela. How are you?
Good morning, Dana.
I'm bright red.
She's all sweating. She's got her boobs in
Schwitzing from here to
place.
high head. Yeah, we're good.
We're good. All set. All systems a go. Hey guys, it's been a couple weeks. We took a little hiatus, holidays, and all that kind of stuff. So we're super, super excited. We've missed having our commando time together, and we are wrapping up this season, which is really, really cool. We've got 2 episodes left of the season, and then we've got our 100th episode coming up. Oh my God. We've got 100 episodes, 100-ish hours of you and I shooting the shit, making fart jokes, and being disgusting, burping.
And that's what we've shared. Think about, we just did 40 minutes before we even started. I took 40 minutes trying to get my boobs straight. Think about the hours you and I spend just talking shit. Do we get anywhere?
No, never really. No, I don't think we do. So anyway, we'll just jump right into it because, we could fucking be ridiculous. We're in season 7 of Worthiness. Yes, it's been a little while, a little rusty. And today is episode 97, right? 97?
98.
98. See, it's been a little while. I'm just squeezing.
I had to look it up this morning. I'm like, what episode are we? Yeah.
Oh,
we're
good. Okay,
Yeah,
because it's not just you being Rain Man. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, that's for another day.
So we have been discussing, Dana and I have created a beautiful, beautiful book called I Am the Captain. And it is 16 short stories that I have written about different life experiences that I've had. Different kinds of trials, tribulations, traumas, from everything from miscarriage to divorce to growing up, raised by wolves, and how I kind of took those situations, gave you the high level, how I transmuted them to become the affirmation of the story. So I'm worthy, I'm safe, I am all these things, and where I found comfort in myself. And my hope is by writing these stories, just like we do here in Commando, I share my experiences, I share how I got through it, so you could be as cool as this chick and get your shit together, this gal. And the beautiful part of the book and why it's such an amazing collaboration is Dana then took my stories and painted a version of me in each of those things. And so the cover of the book is I Am the Captain. She'll be up here somewhere, and she's absolutely gorgeous. And Dana has contributed a story as well to the epilogue of the book, and it's about when she had thyroid cancer. I got it right this time.
You did, yay.
I did good. And just a beautiful moment that happened in her life and how she overcame that. And it's just, if you think about the old days, right? When we think about prehistoric times and the storytelling, and that's how we have connected our generations, is by these storytelling. And there's something really beautiful about it because these stories unite us. They're common themes that everybody experiences in one way, shape, or another. And so today we're going to be talking about the I Am None the Wiser. And it's such a fun topic because if you think about what you put your focus on, right? And then it's just nope, I don't got it. I had a lead in and I don't want to go there. So I'm going to let you start it. I thought I had the whole thing going, and it just went whoop, pulled out of my brain.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I thought we were doing I'm good either way. So here we go.
Commando. Did we do that one?
We did. But I was even I sent you a message and I'm like, yeah, it's so good that we're going to do I'm good either way. No, but you didn't correct me. You didn't correct me. You don't even listen to my audios anymore. Damn you. It's over between us. Okay, focus. So I am none the wiser. Here is the beauty about I am none the wiser. Angela wrote the story about a couple years ago. She went and had sushi with her then husband, and they had the best evening. They had the best seats of the movie. It was the movie was great. The sushi was great. The people that worked there were great. The names of the roles were cool. They were having the best time. It was like one of those like wonderful evenings. And the next day, they come to find out through the news, so it was the paper, or the news, or whatever, that sushi place had an issue about a week before where a bunch of people had food poisoning, and they were likely going to close the place down. And if Angela and the ex had known about this, they likely would not have gone there, and they would not have had that experience. So the lesson that she gleaned from all of it is it's better sometimes not to know. She was none the wiser. And if she got food poisoning, she got food poisoning. Okay, so you deal with it when it happens, you know? And I
Yeah.
think that message is so extremely important, especially now that the world appears to be crashing and burning around us. And I think it appears to be so because we have so much intel telling us so. We have the news, we have the internet, we have social media, we have all these things where we're constantly connected. Somebody farts, they put it on camera and they post it. And then everybody shares it and it goes viral. And it's like, oh my God, everybody's farting. But really, everybody had always been farting, but they were not necessarily posting it every 5 seconds because that's not how we did things 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. So this idea that everything that is going on in the world, there are tragedies and there is chaos and there is turbulence. But if it does not pertain to us directly, is it in our best interest to just be none the wiser? Is it ignorance? Is it irresponsible? Because I've been accused of that, being irresponsible because I'm not all it's my father years ago. What are your feelings about the wall? I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You know, and he was like, wow, how if you don't give a fuck, how are you going to, make the world a better place? And I pointed at the time, my children were like 5 and 6 years old, and I referenced my children. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's how I'm going to be a great mother. I'm going to teach them to be great people. And in our little microcosm, we're going to make that a greater place. And then they tell 2 friends and so on. So all of that to say, is it irresponsible to be none the wiser?
And I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, when I turned off the news, that was like right smack in the middle of COVID, maybe.
Well, that's
I
when I
remember
showed
there
up.
was, I think it was all your fault, Dana. You've changed because of Dana. I'm like, yes, yes, I have. Thank you. Yeah. Um, I remember, I think when they started with the vaccine bullshit, and then I was like, I can't anymore. I can't with any of this. I can't with the politics. I can't with any of it because I'm not the kind of person who has the desire to do something about it, right? I don't have a drive to get involved in politics, right? If I did, it would make sense for me to watch the news and be invested in what's going on because I'm doing something about it. So it's important to know what's going on in the world, right?
Yeah.
I just don't have that drive. So if I'm not going to do anything about it, why am I going to get up all up in arms? And then I also realized, like, I don't know who's telling the truth. I'm very gullible. I didn't like how I was getting all these stupid views. I remember there was a hurricane or something somewhere, and there was like the video that they were showing were fire trucks like couldn't get out of the station because of the flooding, right? The fire trucks, the water was up to the thing. And meanwhile, you hear the 2 guys talking, the 2 chiefs. He's like, "Oh yeah, we had flooding for like 10 minutes, but then we got out of there." And it's like, but if you didn't hear them, you're watching tragedy,
Yeah.
right? That the firemen can't go save people. But they were like, "Yeah, it's fine, we're good." Like, and it was just like, I was like, what is going on? I just can't
Yeah.
trust any of it. And from that, when I turned everything off and stopped caring about what was going on outside of me, I seriously, my life became like a blanket of peace. A blanket of peace.
Oh, Angela, as you're talking, I'm thinking you brought up so many good points. I'm like, I'm going to table that one, and I'm going to table this
Oh,
one.
thank you. Well, thank
Oh
you.
yeah, no,
Oh,
a bunch of good points, but I'm gonna focus on one at a time, or I'm gonna try to see if I could touch
okay.
on all of them. But I was just my family, we just went for like an overnight. I'm in Florida, so it was easy to go to Orlando. We did an overnight in Disney. And when I'm with my husband in the car, when I'm with my husband in the car or anywhere, actually, in the store, he's so focused on how all the misdoings of other people, right? Oh, this guy parks backwards. Why people park? Why do they back it in? And this guy, and everybody's got an issue with everybody. And I really this time was in the car with him, and I was observing why I'm so peaceful and why he is so not. He's got anxiety. He's always angry. He's always frustrated. I paid him a
We
ticket
love
being
Rob.
polite. He
He's
buys
he's
schmooping.
great.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
amazing.
But he suffers. He
Yeah.
suffers. And I realized because he's so focused on what's outside of him and what doesn't matter. And I'm only focused on what I have the ability to change and what has to do with me. And I realize I appear blissful, but if you know me, you know I'm relatively intelligent. I'm pretty grounded. So it's not like I'm like,
That's pretty.
you know what I mean?
You know shit. You
I
have
know,
a wand though.
I know a thing or two, which is meaningless to me because I never got blonde. Okay, I digress. So anyway, it's just this idea that when you focus on yourself
Okay.
and you focus on what you can do in this moment, and then you apply that to what's outside of you, and then you disregard anything that doesn't apply to you, you really truly have more peace in your life. And the other point that I wanted to make based on what you said, and there were a few more that I've already forgotten, but the other point was you, Commando, you had said that you don't feel the drive to get involved in politics. And what I believe is, and I'm going to get a little esoteric, and this is all the stuff I talk about and all the stuff I write about, our passion drives us to what's in our best and highest good. If we have a nudge to do something, a desire to do something, then it's likely leading us to what we want, what's best for us. If we have a passion for something, it really does feed our soul. And when we follow those things, that's what we need to do. So right now in the world, you're seeing all of these systems breakers, all of these warriors, and they're out there and they're really fighting against the system. They're trying to break down the system. I wouldn't say I don't care enough, but there's something within me that understands that that is not for me. But
Hmm.
my own passion drives me in a direction to assist, to pick up the pieces, to help the individual, to do all those things. So when the news is 24/7 in people's faces, all it's doing is triggering whatever their imbalances are if there is no desire to act, whether it be to go and assist earthquake victims or to, like, I shut off the puppy commercials, like
Mm.
the Humane Society or whatever. I
Yeah.
shut it off because I'm not going to adopt all the dogs and it makes me sick to look at. So why would I sit there and be in pain? But there's so many people individually who reside in this place that they're susceptible to it.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things. And again, I know that's like a little esoteric, but am I okay, I was gonna say, am I good either way? No. Am I none the wiser? If if it doesn't pertain to me, if there is nothing I can do about it, why do I want to feel scared? Why do I want to feel shitty? Why do I want to feel angry? Why do I give a fuck what's going on in Russia and Ukraine? And then you can give me 50 arguments about why I should be concerned or whatever, but it's not in my immediate sphere of influence. There's nothing I could do about it. Me getting up in arms does nothing.
Yeah. And
So
and
that's
you
how I
can
see it.
yeah, and you can honestly, to answer that question, why would I get all involved? I think the real question you have to ask yourself is if you are getting all involved in that kind of shit that doesn't have anything to do with you and you're getting entrenched in that kind of stuff, what are you avoiding in your own life? Because
Yeah.
that's really what it is, right? It's like an addiction to the news. It's an addiction to outside, stimuli because there's something in your life that you can't face, deal with, or whatever. And that's all we try to do here is like, no, just like look at all those things. Like don't avoid those things that are in your life that are important, that are holding you back from being your best self, you know, because that's where I was, right? I was so entrenched. I mean, up from 18 years old to well, how old? 42, 43.
Well, when
I
we
was,
reconnected, you still had a foot in each world because I remember talking to you and you were like, "Oh yeah, the Biden and the blah blah," and I was like, "Oh,
oh yeah,
okay,
you knew exactly where I was.
yeah,
But like even
yeah."
like before, like in my 20s, like I was like doing like credential tags for the DNC, and I was like so involved, and I was fucking nuts. But do you know why I was so involved in all that stuff? I didn't really care. I didn't know what the hell was going on, really. You know, I'm not going into politics. I'm not going to be a politician. I'm not going to make change. I was just making noise because I was so hurt inside. I had so much pain inside. 11, my uncle dying, feeling worthless, you know, this no lack of worth, all the things, all the things. And so the harder I was, the harder and worse I felt inside, the harder I went on the outside. Partying, like everything was like outside myself, outside myself. So I didn't have to sit with myself because the minute I did, everything hurt and I thought I could crumble, you know? So for me, I know that if I start getting entrenched in someone's drama, I got to take a step back and go, okay, what's going on in my life that I don't want to look at? What's the feelings that are coming up? And what I've learned to do is be excited about those. Like see the trigger, you know, oh, I got triggered. Oh, good. Something else I could fix. So I don't have to feel that way anymore because feeling that way sucks. It sucks to live in a state of, you said it, right? It's right. Rob suffers, you know, because he is constantly in a state of anxiety, constantly and there's no reason to live that way. No reason at all.
No, and he comes he comes from a long line of suffering, and
We all do though, really.
yeah, for
It's kind
sure.
of like our
But
generational curses.
but but I've seen, without being too specific, I'm seeing firsthand in the his line of suffering that when that suffering is not addressed, when people aren't taking the time to look at themselves, when they're not finding resolution, how extreme and how bad it gets. And you look at all of our illness in the world, and well, let's just go with our society. Let's not talk about the world because there's different reasons in different areas. But in this country, the land of the plenty, when we have more mental health issues and than ever, and physical issues and cancers and all of these things, and we have accepted, oh well, we suffer and then the doctor will fix it, and not realize that if we just take the time, sometimes the momentum is too great. Sometimes, you have issues that need to be resolved through surgery. I have a friend who has an issue right now in her sacral region where she has a mass that she needs to have removed. But she does all the work and she's aware and she's all these things. But there is a momentum, a residual energy that created that. But I believe because she's done all of this work, okay, she needs a little assistance from the doctor, but she knows how to be healthy from here on in. But I think as a society, we've come to accept that the pharmaceuticals will treat it, that the medical community will treat it, and we have forgotten that the power, we've forgotten that we were never taught that the power is in our hands. That's why I'm so passionate about what I do. The power is in our hands. Louise Hay wrote a book, You Could Heal Your Life. That's not just physicality. That's emotional, that's energetic, that's spiritual, that's mental. It's all of it. And it starts with your willingness to look at it.
Yeah, dude. Amen. And it's kind of like you're here now, like coming onto the scene, we'll say, and you're telling people like this is what we could do, right? This is what, and there have been other teachers that have explained how to do this. You've got Wayne Dyer, you've got Louise Hay, you've got all of
Yeah,
your
Eckhart
people
Tolle,
that
all these guys. Yeah.
yeah, all these people have brought this knowledge, and there's a society of people that live by this and live well, right, and live happy, whole, spiritual, beautiful lives, right. And then you have the general population who has been told, oh, that's all woo woo, that's all crackpot stuff. No, you must have drugs. You must be on drugs to survive. In perpetuity. Like
You mean you're not in therapy? You know what I mean? No, I'm
I know,
not.
I know. And so it's so beautiful because you're helping us, the ones who are like kind of like waking up, but like the general population who is like, wait a minute, there's got to be a better way. You have all of them covered. But then there's like, now let's start teaching our children from the beginning because you said it right there. You said we were never taught that we can heal ourselves. We were never taught that you don't have to have a dumpster fire life to become a great person. You don't have to. You can have guidance and inner wisdom and people around you that support your gifts from childhood instead of stuffing you with ADD medicine and being like, sorry, it's like, no, Jesus Christ, it drives me nuts.
Totally. I went to see Nala's Christmas concert last night.
Oh
I am
God.
such an I am such an embarrassment to my family. But I went to see Nala's Christmas concert last night. I do have to, I have to share. There's a point to my story, but I do have to share this. So I notoriously cry at everything. We know this, right? It's my heart hole. It's my heart hole. And when these kids, when they sing, especially in chorus, they hit these notes, they sound like fucking angels. I don't know what happens to me. And this thing was long. It was over an hour long. We walked in, Rob and I were such misanthropes. We're such dicks. We sit in the back. We sit in the back. We're by ourselves. We sit in a place where there's only like 3 possible seats so nobody can sit by us. We're like terrible people. But anyway, we're sitting back there and we get the program and it's got like fucking 35 songs. We're like, Jesus Christ, right? So whatever, we sit there and they do the thing, and the first one's a little lame, and the second one's a little lame, like songs you don't know because it's chorus or whatever. And then they did Drummer Boy, and they had all the girls come sit on the stage, and they had 2 boys in the back, and one had a snare and one had like a timpani or something, and they were into it. And it's like I can feel the
I
joy
love that
of the
song.
children. And Drummer Boy is a great song. So now it starts. Rob doesn't even look at me anymore. He's like, and I'm like, right. So then that happened. Now my heart hole is open, right? And I'm just like watching this thing. And then and what was cool about the chorus teacher, like she mixed it up. Like we went on, they had an intermission. And when they came back, they had all the kids were in the back line up behind us. Like I could touch them. They're like directly behind me. And what she did was they started singing and then walking to the front and then and they had different sections of chorus. Like they had the boys and the girls and the tenors or whatever, but they had everybody come in and then they all went on the stage and they all lined up on like the bleachers. But when
Yeah.
they're behind us, Rob, I'm like, uh-oh, because I know if they start singing behind me, I'm fucked, right? So
These kids
they're
think
like,
I'm fucked.
oh my God. So I look at him and he looks at me and he's like, you're done, right? And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, and I'm like, and then these girls, there was like a girl like right here that was like, oh, and I'm like, it was really, really bad. So then they did that. And then at the end, and they did this last year. So I knew what was going to happen. So whatever, my heart hole was open, close, open, close. I go through the whole thing. I'm like snots. Like it was bad. It was bad. It was bad. Angela texts me and I'm like, I am sobbing through Nala's Christmas concert.
These
So
kids are
then,
fucking angels.
oh yeah. I'm like, they sound like fucking angels. So then at the very end, they get everybody on the stage again and they give them these fake candles and they pretend like they're lighting each other's candles and they sing Silent Fucking Night. And then they do the first chord, I'm all chills. And then they start walking and now they're surrounding us. And it's like silent and it's like dark and I am and then now it's over, right? Yeah, okay, Silent Night. They close it and then they turn on the lights and I'm all like, ah! And I'm like, why is everybody looking at me? Rob is like, you have to see yourself. Like it was bad. It was
I
bad.
wish you took a
So,
selfie. That's one of those I
oh
needed a
my God. It was
selfie.
Kennedy Space Center. It was like, and my nose was all stuffed and I kept going, and I'm like, the people in front of me are thinking I'm like doing drugs, like it was like whatever. So, but that's not, I told you the whole story because it's ridiculous, but, and it's like commonplace. Like when we were in Disney, I didn't cry to the very end and they're like, oh, now we can go home. Okay, mommy cried. Let's go, So
You'll
they
never
were all like,
disappoint, mommy.
they were watching me through the whole trip. They're like, we're going on this. Is she going to cry now? And I'm just like, fucking settle down, people. You know what I mean? I'm like a freaking, sideshow. Anyway, when we're leaving, Nala, who is only 15, and you'll see why I even told this story. Nala, who is only 15 and her boyfriend is 16, they have such a lovely relationship. Like I should be worried because they're 15 and 16 and I should be watching them and worried and I've only seen him be respectful to her. I've only seen him love her in the princess that she is because she doesn't know Stripe, this kid. She's like little Princess Buttercup. Like she really, I mean, like if you could, it tastes like sugar. Like she is just so sweet, and she's not. She's pro whatever. I don't have to explain who she is.
Yeah.
And he treats her as such, and they have this wonderful relationship. And when we were and she wasn't well last night. She's actually home right now, and I'm yelling while she's trying to sleep because she's sick. Anyway, he's holding her hand and he's making sure she's okay and stuff like that. And I was saying to Rob, I said, I know they're young and I know their relationship will likely not stand the test of time as they go out into their lives or whatever. But if she could still live her life and do all the things she wants to do, I don't have an issue with the two of them taking the long haul. And
Mhm.
he was kind of like, he's not ready to hear that sort of stuff. And I even joked about babies. I mean, I don't want her to have a baby as a teenager, but I'm like, like it's like that, you know what I mean? Like to be the child. But anyway, the point of the story is because she doesn't have the dysfunction that we did, she didn't have to do this porridge is too hot, this porridge is too cold, this porridge is just right in every aspect, in every relationship. I mean, you're still tasting porridge, you're 50 years old. You know what I mean? No, but you know what I mean? Like there's a lot
Yeah,
of things
yeah,
that we needed to overcome. I got married at 43.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So the
yeah.
fact that she has been able to be raised, to be taught, to have self esteem, to have self worth, to not live in fear, to exercise her creativity, to set her boundaries, to speak her truth, to elicit her imagination, to be connected with,
Yes.
to all of those things, to have an open heart, to love unconditionally, she can meet somebody who treats her well at 15. It's beautiful.
Yes. Yes, it's beautiful. And because she doesn't know all that other stuff, it doesn't, it's not like, oh, like she's got a, it's not a negative thing. Like we're taught like we have to go through tasting all the porridge, too hot, too cold, never just right. But it's you don't have to. And I've said the same thing about Maddie, right? Like Maddie had the she got at 16 when she started working with you. She is
Yeah.
now this amazing kid who knows her purpose in college, is going to like crush it. She's so good. She grounds herself when she gets like
Yeah.
stressed out. Like just, if I knew then, the mountains I have moved since, God, I would have moved an entire mountain range by then. But oof, nope.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But again, to get esoteric again, and I don't want to get too far into this because you'll know how deep the rabbit hole goes essentially.
Mhm.
But as Earth's vibration, right? As the frequency, I know I don't want to go there, but I'm going to go there. But as the collective Earth's vibrations frequency raises, and we are of that lower vibration. We had to do all the work, clean out the mess, do all the stuff to raise our vibration so we can raise our vibration with the Earth's vibration and be a part of this beautiful world. These kids who have come in, they come in at that high vibration. They don't have to purge the unworthiness and
Yeah.
purge all the bullshit. And the reason we're able to be such guides for these children is because we've been there. We have a tremendous amount of gratitude because it blew so hard. You know what I mean? you know,
That's what she said. Yeah.
but between 0 to 40, blew hard in a lot of ways. Again, that's what she said. So these children, and there's more and more of them. And I think that, and so the obvious question would be, well, what about all the turmoil? And what about this is low vibrational stuff that it's working its way through. It's like when a toddler doesn't get their way and they like freak out. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Or you get buzzed by an electric fence. If the frequency he's here and your frequency is here, it's constantly being buzzed by an electric fence. And then you act out. Turn on the news, you'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Totally. And it's a beautiful thing. I mean, it's just incredible because if we who have gone through it and now we are where we are, right? Then we can help the children stay where they are.
Stay. Stay.
Stay. Good girl, good boy.
Sit, Ubu,
Stay.
sit. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so we'll wrap up this. The really people, the thing is, think about what's outside of yourself, think about what's happening. And if you're getting triggered by it or you're entrenched by something, try to look within and don't worry about that other stuff because it's going to happen regardless of your attention to it or not. Sometimes it really is good to be none the wiser because you just take care of your stuff because that's the thing that you can control. And
Yeah.
you take care of your stuff, you feel happy, content. Then when you're grounded and whole and feeling good, you can revisit, you can visit and not get entrenched in it. You can still know what's going on. I know that there was a political election here in this country. I'm not that far out of it, but
Yeah.
I'm not entrenched in it because it
Yeah.
doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna say every once in a while I'll say to Rob, I'm like, what's going on in the news? And then, like when everything was going on with the election, I was like, I wanted to watch, but I watch it in a way that I'm like, you know what I mean, as opposed to yelling at the TV and throwing things. So continue. I'm sorry. I know you like to do your wrap up. You wrap up.
Nah, I gotta do my wrap up. So anyway, we have created the Phenom Readers Club. It's a really, really cool email subscription thing, and we celebrate a book a month that Phenom Publishing has published. And we then always have like some offers, some prezzies, some like really cool, fun things that we give to our readers only. So if you want to subscribe to the Phenom Readers Club, please go to phenom-publishing.com and just throw your email in there, and you'll stick it in there. You know, that's what she said. And and it's fun. Like next month is January for us, January 2025. So we're going to be celebrating. I am the captain as we wrap up this season. So Dana's giving away prints, just really, really cool stuff. But it really is just for our readers club. So please, please, please go to phenom-readersclub.com. Dana is working on her third book of the 10 Recs trilogy. So it's 10 Recommendments for Personal Empowerment, Beyond the 10, Decoding the Woo Woo. And now she's almost finished writing You Crack the Code, The Woo Is You. And it's so exciting. It's so good. It's so fucking good. So we're going to take a break while we're publishing that book. And then season 8 is going to be when we're ready to. I'm going to do a whole season on The Woo Is You. It's going to be so exciting. So please join the Phenom Readers Club because we're going to be offline for a little while we get things settled, but we'll be able to be in touch through there. So again, go to phenom-publishing.com. We're on Instagram. We barely use it. Phenom Publishing is on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We don't fucking care. We hate social, but we're there, you know. So
if you're looking for us, our 3 posts are there. So check it out.
Yeah. So please subscribe to the mailing list, and you can always then interact with us there. Comment and share in any episode. Watch, binge old episodes. If you're going to read 10 Recs, go back and watch the season as you read it, because we go through each of the recommendments and it's really great. Even Decoding the Woo Woo, we have like a season for each book. So it's super, super exciting. Love our format. Our show is awesome. It's been a couple weeks and I'm like, oh, I miss us. And that, but
Here
so
we
it's
are.
good. Here we are, folks. So, and it is Christmas next week for us. So, like if you're watching this in like May, it's Christmas coming up for us. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all that Kwanzaa, all that fucking holiday bullshit. Hope you have a great time with you and your family. I'm so irreverent.
So irreverent. So, fuck you and your holidays. Bye-bye.
And stay fresh, cheese bags.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.